Good evening, Saskatchewan and Rider fans around the world listening online. This is Sportsline, broadcast from downtown, 1900 Rose Street and 12th Avenue. Welcome to the show tonight. Pair of Rough Rider linemen, number 67, Mike Abou-Mechrek, and number 57, Marc Parenteau. And lots to go over tonight, gentlemen. Joe Haddis back, our co-host tonight, too. I don't know where to start, Joe, but probably with the news of Matt Dominguez.
Well, that's the question I got asked numerous times today, and unfortunately my answer was, I have no idea, we'll have to wait and see. And I think we've heard maybe a little bit more that I hadn't heard, but I don't know. That's the big concern. I think a lot of people were obviously not happy about the loss, but were less happy about the fact that in that loss, then Matt got hurt at the end in garbage time, for lack of the proper term.
Well, Matt and I exchanging messages today. He writes, should know definites by the end of practice tomorrow, what Ivan said anyways, and he says, not looking good to play Saturday, but not out till Kent and Ivan say so. And then late this afternoon, Eric Tillman tells Sportsnet that, Perry Lefko, his buddy from Sportsnet, that he's going to be out 2 to 3 weeks, Matt will, with a strained ligament. Mike Abou-Mechrek, your thoughts on that news? Did you know that before you walked in here today?
That's all news to me. So yeah, 2 to 3 weeks, he'll be rested up for the playoff drive, and yeah, that'll be good for him.
What was it like on the field when Matt went down, Mark? That usually takes a bit of the steam out of a team.
Yeah, well, it was late in the game, and we're driving down, and he made a really good catch, and he just I guess, planted awkwardly, as I saw in the replay, and then we were all hustling down there to get back on the ball, and he would stay down for a while, and at first it looked bad, and then Jeremy went out there all day, and he came back to the huddle, and he said he's going to be all right, he's fine, it's not a big deal. And after the game, he it didn't seem like a big deal, so it wasn't bad, but obviously it's going to be out for a little bit now.
But that's the thing, you said garbage time. There's really no such thing as garbage time in football. I mean, especially in the CFL, you always have a chance to win, and if you're not playing your fullest, bad things can happen. I mean, Matt, if you saw how he got hurt, he was just trying to make a play, trying to make things happen, trying to come back. We only needed 4 touchdowch with 6 minutes left.
I think 3 touchdowns and a field goal. But that's a little better than 4.
Anything can happen. Matt was in there because Matt wanted to be in there, and he was having a great game. And with the CFL, the rosters are so small that everyone doesn't have a backup. There aren't, we don't dress 15 receivers where one guy goes down, you just push the next guy in, and Matt has to play the whole game, and whoever fills in for him will have to play.
All right.
Yeah, Yo's back this week, and we're gonna get to see what Michael Washington can do, because I mean, he's been doing some good things the last couple of weeks, and he's not necessarily the first read up there. He's getting the ball and he's making things happen. He's opening people's eyes. So, I mean, like I said, we got the players to do it.
What people don't realize is that Matt's obviously a great player, but the thing is, behind him is somebody else that's ready to step up. People just don't know about him. Just like when I came this year, I was told, why is this guy coming here? I've never heard of him. Obviously I've never heard of him. It's only my 3rd year, but now that I started to play and I'm playing well, people are like, oh, he's doing a good job. People have to be given chances to play, to become a good player and a big-time player, and eventually someone's going to take over Matt's spot in a couple of years anyways. When in 15 years Matt wants to retire, somebody else is going to have to pick up the load. We can't have Matt Dominguez, a Rough Rider, until 3,000.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you for that.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
What may be the similarities between football and tennis, Mike?
Well, there's a ball in there,
there's
lines
sidelines.
Sometimes you fall, and then...
And there's bad calls in tennis as well.
Oh, yeah.
And you get to wear little skirts.
Somebody does out there.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I just like to say that I love all referees.
Yeah, no, you guys don't have to talk about
all referee
referees.
type people. They really, I can't really start my day without thinking about how much I love referees. But yeah, I really have nothing bad to say about them. Other than, I love instant replay. I think it's a good thing, but I think that football common sense should, come before any instant replay. If you catch the ball and then it gets stripped from you, there's 2 separate incidents there. You catch it, you strip it. All this, whatever you want to call it, it's football. And if there's 2 separate events, it's a catch.
Well, what bothered me from that onside kick is that ref never actually made a call before going to the replay. Usually you have a call, and they have a challenge, whether from the coaches or from inside 3 minutes from the booth, and then you have to go review the call that's made, and then if there's evidence, you overturn it. He never actually said it's Winnipeg's ball or it's Saskatchewan's ball. They conferred, and then he said, we're going to go to the replay. Well, you're going to go to the replay to what? To reverse the call that we've had it, or reverse the call they've had it? So that kind of bothered me a little bit. Now he didn't have to explain himself afterward. He just went there, and he thought he saw something, and then he just went with it. You got to make a call first. If you
You were flagged, but it wasn't you.
Right, yeah.
Mike's
often flagged, that you just don't know about it.
Hey, we're undefeated when I get a flag. I just want to say that. For the record.
Anything else, Jordan?
This year we've won.
Jordan?
Yeah, it was just weird, because if I think it was a shame they can't move them back, you know?
Well, you know what? That Subway commercial, it's a joke, but
I know.
it's got to happen. I mean, if I was a ref, if you blow a call, you just kind of, make it up. I mean, it's football,
Yeah, that and Subway's delicious.
What's that? Or we never said that we lost because of the. I said I love ref, by the way. You're great, man. No, we didn't lose because of the officiating. We lost. Winnipeg just outplayed us. Are they a better team than us? No, they just showed up on that day and they beat us. I mean, someone's got to win, someone's got to lose. They beat us, and we could talk about how bad the O-line played, but no one's calling in to talk about that. So right, yeah. Let me ask you something. Did you ever make up a call to make up for one that you missed?
Not intentionally, no. Maybe subconsciously a guy does. But you just don't go out and, because you knew you made a bad call, we strive to make sure that we don't just make a weak call to cover up that one.
That sounds like a yes.
Let's shift this in another direction, gentlemen, to the Stampeders on Saturday, 2 o'clock kickoff on the Rider Radio Network for the Cooperators. What are you seeing on their... Did you look at their film today, Mark, or just the Bomber game?
Just the Bomber game, but obviously we always catch the game. I caught the game last week when they played Edmonton, so you always want to be a step ahead anyways.
What's their defense doing? Anything differently? Any personnel from that 49-8 thrashing you gave them in week 2?
Well, they got a couple of different guys in there. I think guys are hurt. But the thing with Calgary, it's always been the same way, is they've had good athletes, but they have a good scheme to go with it. They're not going to be like the Bombers when they have guys that just try to really hold you up and be stout. They're going to be moving around more, slanting and crossing linebackers and trying to confuse you so that you have that extra second pause and they get by you. So with them, it's really just knowing where you're supposed to be, being the gap you're supposed to be, and I'm talking offensive line, obviously, and then once you're there, do your job.
They're not saying much over in Calgary this week, but their media is guaranteeing a victory. They wanted me to get a little smack talk going. Some noise. What do you think, Mike?
I love all referees.
The spirit of smack talk between the Riders and Stampeders, and I didn't want to dig anything up. Kent would kill me out of you guys. We're going to go back a couple of years. Do you remember this, Joe?
I do remember this, yes.
Henry Burris, quarterback in the Stamps for the first time against the Riders. Roy Shivers said we're going to go in there in the preseason and break his neck. Or try to break his neck.
Try to, yes.
I don't know if you guys remember that at all. I know you were on other teams at the time. And Stampeders were crazy. Ted Hellard, the owner of the Stampeders, very upset about it.
Who's Ted Hellard? Oh,
well, just hang on. I'm getting ahead of ourselves here. So Roy Shivers asked about it at practice. Or this was during training camp, of course. And he was public enemy number 1 in Calgary for threatening to break Henry Burris's neck. And this is what Roy had to say.
I'm the number 1 suspect. My face is all on the bulletin board. I got my bodyguards with. Look me if I want. Oh yeah, they took it serious, huh? I guess they're gonna have a sellout. Jeez. That says I'm bringing my bodyguards with me. Relay it. Make sure they hear that I'm bringing my bodyguards.
And who are your bodyguards by name?
Frederick Mills and Tony Plater. One's 250, the other 270.
and then he was asked if he'd heard from Stampeders owner Ted Hellard about his comments.
Think about Ted Hellard, whoever that is. No, I haven't heard from anybody. I hadn't even thought about it until Sugarfoot calls me today and tells me I'm on the front page of the sport page or something, And hey, I think it's comical. I guess Demetrius Maxey was the only one that understood. He said, it's just Roy Shield talking, As George White said the same thing,
There you go. That's about as much as we can get, ain't you?
Yeah, I think.